In this video, we'll talk about the Rocky style of investing, and I'll share with you exactly what indicators you need to have on your chart to be the most successful trader that you can be. So first up, let's talk about Rocky. Now, if you're younger, you might not know this, but there was a lot of great movies before all these superhero movies. And Rocky, the first one, came out in, I think, 1976. There's been quite a few Rockies after that. The most recent one is actually pretty good. But Rocky, look, the Italian stallion, and the thing you need to know about the Rocky story is it's like this, right? If you haven't seen the movies, basically Rocky, he's always at a disadvantage. He's fighting someone else that's the champ, or that has more money, or that is steroided up, or like has a mohawk. I mean, he fought Mr. T, and a mohawk alone is worth 2 or 3 rounds. I mean, just if you have a mohawk, you've got 2 or 3 rounds in the bag already, right? So he's always at a disadvantage. And what Rocky has, though, is heart and stamina and just the ability to fight through it. The other thing that Rocky does is that he has his training is, I'd say, a throwback, right? You see him hitting meat like in a meat house. He's running through the snow. He's running up the, I think it's Philadelphia, right? He runs up the stairs in Philadelphia. If that's wrong, I'll edit that out. But he's running up the stairs, right? And I'm sure people still do that when they visit the city. But his training style, right, is so different from his opponent typically. Typically his opponent, is either steroided up, or his opponent has like these awesome training facilities, or, he's like Dolph Lundgren, the Russian guy. I mean, Rocky single-handedly ended the Cold War. That's how powerful he was. So when you think about Rocky, that's really what I'd like you to keep in mind when we talk about this video. Because one of the biggest questions I get from new traders, especially the ones that I work with, is that, well, what indicator should I have? How should I look at these charts? And I have some of those videos. And what you're seeing in front of you are none of the indicators I use. I know about a lot of these indicators, okay? And I'll share with you right now. Let's actually go through and I'll show you the exact indicators you should have on your charts. So let's get rid of the CMF, right? We'll get rid of the balance of power. We'll get rid of the AO. We'll get rid of the ATR and the Aaron. Oh, the AD, that's a pretty good one. ASI, it's another good one. And the Accum distribution, this is actually a pretty good one as well. And the MACD, we'll get rid of that. Oh, we've got the candle curl patterns on here. We got the Bollinger Bands here. So we'll get rid of that. My personal favorite is the Ichimoku. That's pretty good. Volume, you actually want to keep volume. So you see here, right now, what do we have? We have a completely naked chart of BTC USDT. Okay? Got rid of all the indicators. And to me, if you're a new trader, you need to focus on making positive trades on a complete naked chart. Train the Rocky way. And I'll explain, I'll go on to explain a little bit more why this is really important. But in this market, in the crypto market, it's actually easier to be able to trade with naked charts and actually make positive trades, right? Keep in mind too, you're going to make negative trades. The goal here, the goal in trading, and this goes beyond so much, is that it's just like Rocky. Rocky, when you see his fights, right, he gets beat up so bad, right? And it's back and forth. It's not easy. It's the same way with your trading. You're going to get beat up. You're going to have losses. You're going to have wins. The goal, what you should focus on, instead of learning any indicator, instead of spending any time on any indicator, is learn how to make positive trades, have more positive trades on naked charts. And then you can look at indicators. Because here's the issue with indicators, okay? Indicators they're a crutch. If you rely upon an indicator, you're really not reading the true market action, all the market action that you really need. Look, candlesticks have been around for a long time. And before computers, before the MACD, before RSI, before all this other stuff, right? And people were able to make money off candlesticks with just the information within a candlestick, with just the information of the psychology of the market. And the other reason why it's important is that if you're, I didn't go to college, so it's kind of like taking algebra and you don't know how to add. You're just not going to be able to do it, right? You're doing the same thing with trading. If you're trying to learn an indicator, if you're looking and see how that relates to everything else, it is possible. Actually, most of the charts that I share, you notice I don't have many indicators on them, if any. That's how I trade. I do look at indicators, but the only reason I look at indicators is sometimes for entry, but also how other investors will actually look at. And I know the Fibonacci, I know the retracement, I know I know how to read the MACD, the Elliott waves. I know, this stuff I understand and I do use it. The key, the thing that I found for me, and I believe for most new traders, is that yes, you'll start using indicators, right? But if you can make positive trades on naked charts, the indicators will up your game tremendously. The problem is if you start with learning indicators and trying to make positive trades with indicators, you're jumping the ship so much that here's the problem with indicators, okay? This is the biggest problem with indicators. They're a crutch. They're a crutch to what you really need to get to be a successful trader. That's what they are. There is no tool besides your mind to be able to be a successful trader. That's the only tool. So anything else that you add as clutter to your mind, okay, that you haven't fully absorbed as a habit, is a distraction for you being a successful trader. I can't say that more powerfully. I mean, that's really that is kind of the secret. Once I started understanding that, my positive trades, and actually I don't feel any different about my losing trades. So I just started having more success with my positive trades. I didn't feel any different about my losing trades because that's part of the game. That's part of the trading cycle, is that you're going to have positive trades, you're going to have negative trades, okay? The challenge comes in is that if you're trying to learn quite a few different things, in addition to trading, to everything else, to an indicator, you're going to be bogged down on the wrong foundational things. You're going to use a crutch of an indicator. So I highly suggest that if you're new to trading or if you're having challenges with trading, that you learn how to make more positive trades on naked charts. And that means looking at support and resistance. That means really understanding how to read order books, really understanding how to trade on just naked charts before you start adding indicators to the mix. And I have specific ways that I think I can share to learn indicators that I think will help people. So I'll cover that later. Because I'm not saying indicators are bad. Indicators are great, but once again, they facilitate the most important aspect of trading, your mind, your ability to look at a market in real time and understand that this is a unique place and time in the market right now. Never existed before, it'll never exist again. Look at all the information before you and say, this is a good setup for a trade. And the second that it's not a good setup for a trade, you already know where you're exiting and you know where you're entering. You can get all that on naked charts. You don't need indicators. And the time that you're spending trying to learn indicators and trying to learn how it all correlates could be better spent becoming an expert at straight up naked charts. So that's what I consider the Rocky method of trading, is that, look, you could throw Rocky anywhere. In the desert, in the Russian snow, in a city, and he's going to train just as well Most of his opponents, you probably couldn't do that. Most of them, they need the fancy equipment, they need the fancy trainers, they need the steroids, they need all that stuff, right? You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that person. You want to be the person that puts you anywhere in the world, you can train and be the champ. That's what you want. So that's all I have for this video. Any questions, definitely join the Discord group. You see a link down below. Follow me on Twitter. If you're not subscribed here on YouTube, you can subscribe on YouTube. And tips are welcome. So if you got something from this video, you can definitely send over a tip. Any questions, definitely ask in the Discord group, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.